Yo, check this out. This is Wayne Wonder, representing for Warwick LTV. You see the vision, don't it? See the vision. Warwick LTV. Keep it locked.
I'm gonna tell you. We, us, as bloggers, these are the issues that we need to address. You understand what I say? You see? Set the bar for the youth, Share, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned to the channel. I don't know all this. Yes, I. Greetings once again in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I the First. And I think that's good and wonderful amongst us. Welcome all viewers and subscribers. Viewers, if you like the content, subscribe and make it help grow the platform. You know, see? Now, one big up Jabi, the badass. You see, you don't know, remember the badass channel, visit the badass channel, subscribe and things like that. Seeing for the one today. Seeing. Now, I'm excited to play that video, yeah. To share that video with the item for a whole heap of reason. Still excited, and there's a bit of disappointment. You know, see it. But the disappointment, I don't really, you know, see it, yeah. Call it bad mind if you don't want in a business. You know, see it. But just like the official in the video, I was say, because I'm not sure if for the Senate, I think it's an international committee or even address still, the Rastaman address, you know, see it. But I'm not sure if but just like the official in the video, I got state, I'm not going to know, so the first time in the Americas, a Rastaman, I got address a committee of such magnitude. You get what I said? I'm not sure which one of them. See, but don't see from the video, it don't matter at this point in my mind. Rasta did it. You know, see? No, it's kind of a shame. No, I don't want Jamaica go run and talk about Damien Crawford and a Rasta. Him said that himself. Damien Crawford look like him not even Christian. Damien Crawford just not like comb. You know, see, because we know say it's hard for comb black people here. The way all know them not design. No. And painful way, painless method of grooming black people here. I know, no invent. I know. I mean, you can look on somebody where hundreds of miles away in front of you up on a screen, right? That's a Rasta. And there is no invention for that. You see, so they probably didn't make Crawford just not like. So, you see, yeah. So the first time Rasta address an official political organization or group, you know, see it, and Jamaica should be ashamed of itself, because even till this day, you see, Jamaica has kept secret and still got the skeletons in its closet, of which this political official has just admitted from Antigua and Burbuda. See, the Burbuda and Antigua government has given Rastafari more humanity than the world has ever given to black people. Today, it has happened. You understand what I say? More recognition than the world has ever given to black people. You see, I know the world don't apologize for slavery. I know the world no farmer consequence, compensation, acknowledgement whatsoever regarding their earth and their abuse, you know, any form of sanitation to that level. Black people still being treated, marginalized, and all them sort of things, you know, and it's known and acknowledged, just like a passing fad nowadays. Somebody not to pay that no mind again too tough, because, you know, see, but Jamaica should be ashamed of itself. You know, see it, and even Rastafari in a Jamaica and a whole, you know, see it. It's it's throughout 1980s, a whole heap of man, the movements in a Jamaica get infiltrated, see, and all of the leaders, them, the so-called scholars, them, were in the thing, no make no advancement to them sort of thing here. Because it's a hustling to them. All of them. Me want one elder now, you have to bring the receipt. Every elder have to bring the receipt, come show me where them get blackballed or blacklisted with them in attempt in a Jamaica to bring Rastafari upon them level, yeah. We don't have to bring receipt, come show that you are Rasta. The whole I no bow and sell out then. There is no two-way about it because there is no evidence otherwise. The whole I want to and the argument them on attack. I still some like a church group, business one and group up to themselves, commercialize Rastafari and I make a big profit off of it. And just sit on one side and I go on like, I don't do anything. And I act like so well then, this is it. Like a Dessa Rasta did meant to come, we reach, we bridge, we buck. I saw all elder in Jamaica go on today. You don't see it. You don't see it. Like it's just a church thing, a religious standpoint, but anyway the money there and the quick hustling there. It's a whisper you have to stand up and justify equality. You don't see it. Balance liberty for poor people. No man not there to stand up. No man not there no vanguard. No man not there no doorway. People no watch or be no farmer high for black people or ghetto people. Too much responsibility for them. Them afraid of that. You know see? It's like higher consequence there now. And it all sure cause the enemy are work monks and the enemy are going to easily have secret fear for point out say you're a criminal too and you're a thief too. I bet I want to stay in the shadows. One can hustle secretly where the officials them can't say if you call you know. One can hustle and just eat the little scraps from around ghetto people. But on a worthless. And this is evidence on a worthless. If you can't bring a receipt, come on and show me say no man all when man hold gun on your head to stagnate Rastafari in Jamaica as it is today. You should have been dead. Plain and simple. Rastafari bigger than life, bigger than full life. You know, some set of joke and it's proven here today. Anyway, we can watch the video. We're going at some more after. We give thanks.
The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, publicly and unreservedly apologized to the Rastafarian community in Antigua and Barbuda, who were marginalized as social outcasts and actively discriminated against for decades. In the eyes of the colonial power that ruled our country for 3 centuries, the sins of the Rastafari were twofold. First, their complete rejection of a British imperial culture that enslaved people of African descent and amputated their connection to their ancestral homeland in Africa. And second, their determination to shape an identity that refused to succumb to the desecration of their culture and their religious beliefs. For these transgressions, they were marginalized and alienated for almost 100 years throughout the Caribbean. It is a tribute to their endurance and their innate capacity that the Rastafarian community throughout the region and now increasingly in many parts of the world have produced professionals in medicine, in science, in the halls of academia, and in the performing arts. In the words expressed in song by the most internationally known Rasta, the iconic Bob Marley, we refuse to be what you wanted us to be. We are what we were, and that's the way it's going to be. Out of a dark colonial past of their forebears, Rastas have risen up to affirm their self-dignity, their African heritage, and their worth as human beings. They have shown that from the margins of society can come energy and creativity that can spread around the world and captivate it. Prime Minister Gaston Browne said the following in his public apology, and I will read what he said. Many of our ancestors were defiant until death, tortured, broken on the wheel, and beaten to death. Others succumbed to the lash of the whip, to the daily grinding down by the exploiter's boot, to the respite that was offered by acceptance of the oppressor's rule. You, the Rastafari, remain defiant in defense of your culture and human dignity. So, you had to be marginalized, scorned, victimized, and labeled. But you endured, living in your own community, growing your locks, and retaining your own religious connections. Cannabis for you was not a mind-numbing drug that disembodied your spirit from the Babylon in which you endured. It was a vehicle for religious communion with Zion, the place where Black people lived with dignity, in freedom, and connected to their being. Regrettably, even as the colonial establishment retreated from whence they came, and people born in Caribbean countries replaced them in authority, the Rastafari continued to be marginalized. There were times in Antigua and Barbuda when our own misunderstanding of Rastafari and its religious rituals, such as the use of cannabis, caused our establishment to turn away Rastas at the airport and to demand that their children cut away their locks as a condition of entering school. Even our churches scorned the Rastafari. That discrimination went on for decades, preventing the Rastafarian community from escaping the confines of poverty and denying them the right to explain who they are, what they believe, and what part they wish to play in the homelands that are now our collective heritage. It is long past time for discrimination, marginalization, and rejection of the Rastafarian community to end. In the full knowledge of all that I have described here, my government pledges recognition of the Rastafarian community and equality as an integral part of our community. And just as we accord the right of others to practice their religion, including their religious rights within their churches, so too do we accept the rights of the Rastafari to practice their liberty, their cultural and religious practices, including their sacramental use of cannabis. For all the harm that has been done to the Rastafari over the decades in Antigua and Barbuda, I apologize most sincerely on behalf of my government and the government that went before us. That was the Prime Minister's public apology. Mr. President, the Prime Minister and government of Antigua and Barbuda have already taken steps to recognize the dignity and worth of the Rastafarian community as an integral part of our society. Members of the Rastafari have long served as teachers in our schools and as key members of our farming community. Now they serve as senators in our parliament and in our diplomatic service, including with the rank of ambassador. Mr. President, the actions of the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda gives meaning and substance to the Inter-American Democratic Charter, which in its proper application underscores the important values for which we stand as a community of nations in the Americas. The measures that have been taken are consistent with Article 9 of the Charter, which commits us all to the elimination of all forms of discrimination, especially gender, ethnic and racial discrimination, as well as diverse forms of intolerance, the promotion and protection of human rights of indigenous peoples and migrants, and respect for ethnic, cultural, and religious diversity in the Americas, contributing to strengthening democracy and to citizen participation. Mr. President, members of this Council, Antigua and Barbuda is proud of this historic action. I am pleased to have with me today a Rastafarian member of our diplomatic corps, Ambassador Franklin Francis, Ras Frankai Tafari, to identify him properly. He's also a leading representative of the Rastafari throughout the Caribbean, having received the highest honors of the community. And with your permission, Mr. President, I would like to ask Ambassador Frankai Tafari to address this Council, and by doing so, to create history. He will be the first member of the Rastafari community to speak to such a high-level representative body of the nations of the Americas. And if I may, I will invite him to speak. Thank you.
Adelante, por favor.
Please do.
Franklin Francis.
Good morning to the distinguished delegates, and greetings in the name of Haile Selassie I, acknowledged as the divine inspiration of the Rastafari nation. I convey the thanks and appreciation of the Rastafari nation for the historic opportunity to address this august hemispheric body, the Organization of American States, on such an important issue as human rights and justice, which we believe should be of concern to the nations and peoples of the world. The Rastafari nation commends and thanks the government of Antigua and Barbuda and the Honorable Prime Minister Gaston Brown for his unique, sincere and heartfelt apology to Rastafari for repair and redress for the atrocities inflicted on Rastafari for their acknowledged utilization of cannabis and their strong stance in defense of the oppressed and downtrodden minorities in our hemisphere and indeed in the world. This apology comes on the heels of previous token allowances to the Rastafari community, including the admission of dreadlocks youth into the educational institutions in Antigua and Barbuda, and the cessation of the trimming of the dreadlocks covenant of incarcerated Rastafari brethren and sistren. The Rastafari nation has long expressed our advocacy for the rights of Africans the world over, and our advocacy for the use of cannabis as a human rights issue, and view the prohibition of cannabis and the persecution of Africans through the immoral crime against humanity that was chattel slavery as contrary to United Nations Declaration on Human Rights as enshrined in the United Nations Charter and other conventions, including those in the OAS. The apology and declared intention for repair and redress is thus seen in the context of the call for reparatory justice for slavery and colonial oppression, expressed by the establishment of the CARICOM Reparations Commission and voiced by other Africans in the diaspora and on the continent. This call gains added significance, coming as it does in the United Nations declared International Decade for People of African Descent, 2015 to 2024. We express the hope that the call for reparations will see a recognition of Rastafari sacramental use of the herb cannabis and involvement and inclusion in the material benefits to be derived from proper utilization of cannabis. Further, that repair and redress will involve assistance to the formerly disadvantaged Rastafari and African communities, and for the Rastafari inclusion in the civil society, community, and societal deliberations on developmental and other issues of concern to all oppressed peoples. Noting that Rastafari and African peoples are situated throughout the nations of the Americas, it is our hope and fervent prayer that the call for reparatory justice will be heeded not only by other Caribbean leaders, but by other hemispheric leaders and the entire international community. to the distinguished delegates of the 34 nations of the Americas represented here, I give my heartfelt thanks for the honor of addressing you. Thank you, sir.
You know, one of them wonder where it's like, you can't say you can't believe. Because of something will happen to you, because of me that happened to you. Me feel more like me would I rather live a Antigua and Burbuda right now than Jamaica, than anywhere else in the world, as a matter of fact. You see? Yeah. You see? But it's like, so well then, the facts are well then, Jamaica are now. I'm not blame politician in Jamaica. I'm not sit back and be stupid and blame politicians in Jamaica and them policies are like the climate of Jamaica regarding Rastafari, because Jamaica accept Rastafari and climate as Rastafari long before Barbados did. Me remember being in Jamaica and hear man at the interview and talk how them get treatment of Barbados and them. I want to tell you say the recognition and the love for Rastafari in Barbados has recently been only since Sizzla and Capleton and Buju and them man they start DJ certain song. Barbados start get recognition. Can remember in a recent time in my lifetime, when Rasta under serious oppression going into Barbados from Jamaica. And Rasta living in a Barbados against, Burbuda. Even Barbados I want another one, but we're now going on that to the Burbuda. You know see it? You know see, long time we know them place there I get persecution. Long after Jamaica get a certain level of recognition and people start you know? You know see, and it no move no forward. So we can't it's like from the 80s till now. It's like Rasta join the line of people them now we are asked for deliverance. It's like a desert, the thing there. And I never desert, and I saw the foundation, a thing there, the foundation, a thing was to take your deliverance. You know, see it? Because the guy, them have it and them know, say, it's due to you and your life, and a guy over there, so you work, your money, and a guy no want pay, and him over there, stand up with it and pocket and I look for you over there, so to say, nah, pay you, nah, take it. You work next week again, and see if you want to pay you that time, you Rasta. Eh? Rasta never used to do that. We know. Farmer policies are, you know, expectation from government or force up. No. You just over there so with the foolishness of your lie. And you know, we know say a lie I tell you can't. Me and you know a lie I tell. We are big man about it. Dog, come over here so with it and feel like somebody there check me. Bring when you want, when you know me, you want, come give a Rasta. And you go back over there so with the chicken and your arm if you defend you. Till me can conquer that too. That was the nature of Rastafari in Jamaica. Till about early 80s. Early 80s. 84. From 84 it just turned a big hustling. Some man just come teach the item how to make money. And all of you down there, sit down there, no, you know. This is the elder. You see, you have to be careful, you know. You are watching it, you know, and you see them things, you know, Rasta. And you, when you study and observe, because you them have access now, you know, to all sort of information, you know, Rasta. And you them observe certain process, you know. And know so wait, then I want to them guys must get paid for. Hey, it's a disgrace. It should be, you know, I should not talk that way today, like I am an talk with any farmer and a master tip on a day like this, but while presenting, you know, a thing like this, you know, see, a development like this, an advancement like this, you know, see, the I man give thanks for, you know, see, but still it make we have to reflect, you know, it make we have to reflect, and it, you know. And after coming into contact with documents recently again, you know, it make we know that some guy definitely have some agent in Jamaica. You know, see it, some agent in a Jamaica, some prominent figure in a Rastafari will present themselves as prominent figure in the movement when I have nothing but stagnative motive. You know, see it, for the group, Rasta, and them I get paid. You know, see it, and a guy in a business, a guy in a for himself, believe in a way and believe. You know, matter, everybody know what poor people are, you know. Everybody in the world know Rasta rules and regulation even more than Rastafari now, you know. Yes, Rasta. Everybody want to confront you and contradict you and correct you and all them sort of things nowadays, you know. Rasta are not a stranger to the world. Rasta are not an alien. Rasta is no threat. The world know that the world. Me say if you pick up piece of bacon in a shop or a piece of pork in a shop, we have bare white people in there in Britain today. Everybody head turn around and look at you. So you have man with them dreadlocks still, you know. We eat, you know. We do them thing, you know. And I want to tell you, in a lot of cases when white people see them know them. All white people when them see them just know say I just a style that. You know, see, when them see the real Congo man, them know Congo. You know, see, no disrespect to no one and them appearance. See, so if them say a Congo man a do a certain way, first thing them know say them supposed to in the meat section. Them know that. Them know. If you ever think them don't know, you have some people, you see most white people, them say them not believe in a religion, but them a spiritualism. Them believe in a spiritualism and thing. And one of the highest respected spiritual movement in the world to them. Matter of fact, when them do a study, every race is spiritual movement. Because them not known for themselves. So every race, like the Buddhism, and them study Rasta. So you have a big group of white references over here where can teach, you know, subvertly, covertly, the mass of the population. How I and I really operate. You know, see, educate them one and they furthermore them the need to do that. It's already been done. It's already done. I tell you that. I know that. I've experienced it. You know, see, Rasta are not a stranger. So when our government still are going like it furthermore, like me say, I don't think our government is fully, or Rasta is complicit. Our government is like so well, them not here or there with it. Them, all right, them wouldn't mind it stay stagnated. They wouldn't mind it stay stagnated because more for them and them get away with everything. You know, see. But if it come to prominence, a matter of fact, has shown its potential time and times before, many times before, and the governments of Jamaica have aligned, have tried, jostled to align themselves with Rastafari. Rasta put government twice in power, PNP put PNP in power one, many times, and put JP in power, probably many times as well, but for one, I know I do it at least one time. As Rastas in agreement with them, I say, you know, allow them to swear them I do, type of thing. You see, since 1980 election run, Rasta now have no power in elections outcome again. What happened? What happened somewhere between this and Rasta? What happened to them man there? And them and like, you see, rich guy, rich long belly guy, when I resign and go keep quiet, still I do duty till last breath, I hold back. I try to hold back something where can't stop. You know so much head Rasta have. You know so where Ghana now Rasta. You know so what happening at Antigua and Burbuda. It's a historic disgrace. It's a historic first, and a wonderful achievement for I and I, regardless of what the future entails. I mean, in terms of truth, honesty, and practice. You know see it. We yet for still see the practice. We don't have a problem with that. You know see it. We have faith. You know see it. We believe say works are works over words. You know see it. And from the man them a work, people are gonna love it. And politicians of today are just words. You know see it. From the man them a work, people are love it, and the man them look like them decide for work. So enough respect to Antigua and Burbuda. You know see it. Barbuda. You know see it. For them civility, them humanity, them consideration in human transparency. You know see it. Vast achievement, big move, and we love and we respect it. You know see it. And when we cry shame and disgrace from whole Jamaica, we not say it like we bitter. We still happy. You know see, we still happy on one hand, but it's a disgrace how Jamaica still we not move forward. I mean, and again, like me I say, I'm not gonna blame government for the stagnation. I personally haven't seen any advanced step make as an organized group in Jamaica. And if I should be honest, you know, Rasta, if I should be honest, it's just the spirit of His Majesty, spirit of righteousness, the spirit of truth exists and hold the thing together in a Jamaica. Because even until this day, it's so fragmented. I've never, I mean, for years, you know, see, for at least 25 years, Rastafari has been fragmented and splintered in Jamaica. And no guy can tell me, say, I lie me, I tell. Now make the guy come make the representation tune across the world and collect the big check and a bag of money and go on like say, them have the thing organized, or them do anything for organize the thing as well. You know, see, the whole of them have some big platform and whole heap of influence, financial resource and all of them things that would have never tried to implement any form of little strategy, tactics, or principle to create an organized unit. What them all do now is try to reflect the nature of ghetto youth, gangster youth, as Rasta. Say I saw Rasta, can't bother with them youth there, man, because them are just badness and retete. That them all use now. This same stereotypical characterization of Jamaican youths in general. And that the elder Rasta them use to characterize even young Rasta. Hence the reason why them claim them can't organize. You know see? Yeah. Like some of them we have to go root out. You know see? I give thanks. Rastafari.